Okay, now we're officially recording. And I'm so happy to be here with you, my friend, and someone who I think I think I just first knew about you as someone who was hosting these really amazing gatherings. And then I've gotten to see you on stage doing your conscious hip hop. And I know you even now teach breath work and meditation and work with kids, and you're also a teacher officially in the world and have been, right, in schools of sorts.
Yeah.
So I know you have many ways you've been helping. So thank you for being here.
You know what? It's amazing to actually hear all those different parts of me. Thank you. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
like, oh, I do that, you know? It's fun.
I
But
do
yeah.
do that. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I find at the very least is fun about this kind of thing, if I get to help reflect that back to you. But yeah, really to share you and how you're going about life and some of the things you're up to with whoever comes across this is my intention here. And yeah, especially at this time, I really appreciate that you felt willing to talk, because some of the people I reached out to didn't feel ready to talk right now because they're like, I'm not sure I have anything to help. I'm really struggling myself, right? Which I think a lot of us have been, and for good reason, in just being connected to our fellow humans, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I really appreciate that you felt up for talking and sharing what comes through at
Yeah,
this time.
that's my frequency. And you know, everybody's entitled to theirs, so I'm totally fine with different vibes and stuff. But yeah, in these times, I feel like I definitely want to help heal, and I want to keep everybody connected and just in one love. You know, like it's very important. I think these online things or communicating, like right now, I appreciate you, Laura Jane, also for just doing this type of work and wanting to share good energy. Thank you.
Well, yeah, it is just my following my inspiration as a place to put my energy, even versus just dwelling in the worry, right, or the fear. And I mean, doesn't that feel so interesting about this, in that people who are into like meditation and mindfulness and finding that balance between like being present with what is, right? But also maybe feeling at all like we have any creative power within what's to come. I don't know about you, but for me, that's part of what's interesting to find my way through with this. And to feel like I'm being responsible and present and aware and practical, but can I still be like someone who's dreaming up a version of what's possible here, right?
I like that. I really like that. That we are in control. You know what I mean? And we have to be nice and happy, pretty things. We have to make it loving and everybody needs some space type future, you know?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, and how it seems like you're someone who you have learned to like use your art and creating as something for you that then you also share with others. So would you say that's true? And does that continue to be true at a time like now? Are you doing a lot of your forms of expression right now as part of moving through this and deciding what you think and feel?
You know, my forms of expression have always been myself. I do want to share in different ways. And I
Ooh,
think because we're so isolated and at home, I channel that, you know, so having already had it as a certain practice, but obviously where we were a few weeks ago, um, as a society, it was different. And I think a huge part of what I'm doing right now, more uptick on expression, is like healing for me, you know. And the beauty of it is that I've always, for a long time, been in my art expression as a healer, like doing. I think that's why people like yourself would understand my type of what you'd say conscious hip hop. You know, it already was a loving vibe, a unity vibe, and I've been doing that for a really long time. So now in these definitely concerning, uncertain times, and with this, what I would say is a component of having to really be by yourself, be with yourself. Yeah, you can have your situation could be with loved ones or it cannot. You
mm,
know, there's so many filters. I think one thing that was interesting that I talked to a friend recently is that imagine like a kid who goes to school to have some peace from a dysfunctional home. and now is in that home all the time. I think certain layers of our society are people on top are saying, everybody stay home and it's great for you. But there's not a compassion for dynamics, people who have dealt with their anxiety, their depression by being able to socialize. There's not compassion for that. You know, from the top down, we've always had challenges with variances in our society and people feeling unequal, you know, and now we all have to stay in our house, and there's a lot. And I think for some people, the transition is easy and some it's not. And I don't know if we're having those discussions, you know. So for me in the healing arts, I'm searching for a way to be honestly bold. And my art has always been revolutionary. So even in the stay home culture, I'm going to revolutionize it, and I'm going to make
Ooh.
I'm not going to do everybody stay home. And that's what and I'm going to do my version of it. And there is some going out to it and like trying to say, what can I social or what do they call it? And then I like how people are using different words, physical distancing or something. Like we're searching for health, because to expect us to quarantine in our homes 24/7, that's madness.
It really just feels, it really doesn't work for me either with what I've developed as my ways of taking care of myself, so that I did have, so even though I'm honoring things in so many levels, I'm finding I'm still giving myself permission to do things like the solo beach walks or things, especially if I can go at times of day when I feel like less people are out there, and keep my distance. And but it's interesting to think for ourselves within wanting to be conscious and connected and responsible and aware.
How do you fit all that into a piece of how you put all these pieces together and yet still have your own and we got to heal. There's a lot to it, but as you said, am I expressing my art a lot because of this? So that the component of being in my home way more is forcing me to be expressive and be creative. And I'm using the platform, I really feel like, of digital, like fun of like Instagram stories is like a weird platform for me. I'm having fun with like creating art in there. Really, for me, it's art. It's like a vision board that I can keep doing really fast and over again. And I can share music and I can share my thoughts. And it's fun, and that's expressive for me. It's getting out a lot. And then I'm just trying to figure out how do we socialize. And I like that I have certain friends too that are like, had 8 people doing dance hall, but they were all 6 feet apart, you know what I mean? And like in the park or whatever, like that was a creative thing to see. But I think even that was looked at as like by certain family members that you can't do that. Stay in your house. You gotta stay in your house. And there may be some truth to that. And there may not, you know? So it's like, and then I don't know, the other day I saw 1 billion people out. So I'm like, what's going on, you know?
It's interesting to make sense of and to feel our way through, and then especially if we consider that it could be long term at all. And I think that's important what you bring up about how for a lot of people staying home is meaning that we're either facing ourselves more and or facing relationship dynamics that hadn't been faced. So it's intense in so many ways.
Like we already had a complex society. We're now faced with pandemic quarantining in a complex society. It's you have to use these health practices. And see, the other thing too is in our society, that's a very concerning thing, is that there's people who have always felt marginalized, always felt like poor, whatever, these challenges, that we had in the society already, like a terrible minimum wage, terrible healthcare. And now there's psychological trauma for everybody. It's unprecedented, and we're not analyzing the appropriate mental health aspects of it for different people going through it different ways, And that's unfortunate. I'm trying to be mindful and use the universe guidance. So like if anybody like yourself reaches out and wants to do some work like this, where we're all talking about how to be well in this, I'm gonna do it, So thank you for getting me to speak my thoughts, and my practices.
Well, and you seem, if I were to judge from afar with your posts and such, you seem like you have a pretty strong, like, spiritual life or orientation. And I don't know if you would agree with that, or say that that can be an okay description. And so, if so, is that become a big, even stronger part of your life right now with the current sitch?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely more meditation. Um, uh, well, the physical activity is different now. So I've shifted. I'm doing beach runs and stretching and stair climbing. Um, and I'm wondering if I'm going to be in the house only trying to figure out how to get a workout in, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But I used to play a lot of basketball and I still do the yoga. I miss the bluff so much, Laura Jane. Like,
Yeah, I bet so many people are feeling that's been such a harsh part of this, is a lot of us having lost some of the things that had really become foundational
especially for your mental health, you know,
for our
like that
mental
was,
health. Yeah, and just
yeah,
those
that was
feelings
like,
of community and connection, which I know you're so all about creating with so many of the things you do, if not all the things you do.
yeah,
Yeah,
just good, a
yeah,
good culture. We need a good culture here. And I try to be loving and universal, man. And like, obviously what I like about Long Beach is our diversity and our genuine diversity. It's like some places and cities that I visited are like, yeah, this is a diverse city. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm a little bit concerned with your idea. But I encourage you to come to Long Beach and you'll really see some expression of Star Trek Enterprise diversity. You know, like
right.
we're something else, man. And yoga on the bluff shows that. And so, yeah, that's kind of been something that I'm doing some home yoga, trying to support some people online, but I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie to you. The best I do is when I'm just in my own head doing that with music in at the beach. And I'm sad if they take the beach away from us, you know. We're lucky
Yeah.
to live by the beach and have that, you know. So
Yeah, having the nature, the risk of not getting to go in nature for some of us too. Yeah, it's just so interesting to have some people like us even who found these things that really work for us, right? We built them into our lives and then suddenly not getting to, or being threatened that we can't use them, right? We're being irresponsible if we do. Yeah, so I guess it is about just like reorienting and deciding what we feel like is true. And I love where I felt like you were going with, like, you definitely sounds like, you know, like a physical practice is part of your even spiritual practices,
yeah,
whether it's
asana, right? We
your
say the asana.
basketball or your use of like yoga poses or other forms of movement. Yeah, so you know, for you, most days it's going to include something that like brings you into the body and does that for you.
Yeah, the meditation. Um, yeah, everybody has their tools, and my tools are meditation and yes, the creative arts. I'm really blessed, and I've often said that to the friends that I work with, like Castor Pollux, who you know, Drew and Evelyn, or even like my friends who are big people like Drez and Marty, Sri Kala, which is interesting, right? The art that we have, and man, I know a lot of people in the music industry. It's like conscious yogi energy, whatever that is. Like I think it was like we're just creating a new lifestyle. But what's interesting is that I have always talked with those people and said to be able to create music is such a gift, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's an outlet and it's,
Yeah.
I
So
recognize it.
you know, yeah, making music is like a medicine for you, the actual. So like currently, do you have instruments that you like to play too as part of your daily stuff these days?
You know what?
Besides, like,
I was always just a rapper, like a straight
yeah, yeah, your
lyricist.
voice
I
is
can
the
play
instrument. Yeah,
percussions. I love guitars, but I've never had a strong thing. I own a guitar. I own drums.
right.
Um,
Yeah, so you're like a little familiar with them enough, but yeah, so your
I don't
voice
even
is your
DJ.
main instrument.
I never even DJed. And like people still think because I'm in the music so much and they see me around DJ so much, they think I'm a DJ. A lot of folks would be like, hey, can you DJ this event or something? So it's interesting. So I'm like, I've never done DJ, but I did just buy. I mean, the technology got so reasonably priced that I did just get this new Mark mixer thing. And I've been trying to I've been having fun with that because I'm like, wait a minute, the times
Yeah,
have caught up or something, you
so
know?
you might learn a little DJing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you
But then my
feeling
spiritual,
yourself
hmm?
inspired to try to host any online gatherings or anything at this time? Or are you just not even thinking about that? I
That's a
mean, I
cool.
know you're so in the party business in a sense, like conscious parties. I feel like, um, are you imagining that at all, or is that not in the?
No, actually, I'm very inspired by this wave of ways to a stronger online experience.
Yeah.
One thing I'm doing, at 1 o'clock, I have a meeting with the kids that I work with in the school I'm in. It's a very unique homeschooling environment. Um, uh, I'm a volunteer with them, I like to say. And they're good kids. So I'm gonna be doing an online class with them. Today I just went out on out by the lighthouse and kind of like explored my own platform, you know, of like, I'm playing music, giving good energy to the people, doing some healing arts with like burning sage, burning incense, and then using feathers, hawk feathers of like releasing energy into Gaia, and just talking about that experience, chanting mantra. So my online experience, it's kind of funny because I experimented today. I want to call it the lighthouse, and I'm always probably gonna, I think I'm gonna be at the lighthouse, but we had so many beautiful places as I rode my bike over there. I brought my equipment out, and I set up a little class, and it's on my IG. I dropped it on IG Live earlier today.
Perfect timing. Wow.
Yeah, it's so fun
That
too.
sounds cool.
So yeah, two platforms. I'm chatting it up with someone, but because of the social distancing element, it's kind of interesting on how we want to. I want to format something with a DJ, and I've got some ideas down the pike. But definitely in these times, pressing the creativity, having nothing to do, and trying to figure out how to express myself. I'm searching for those avenues.
Right. It does feel to me too. It's just, I'm thankful to be in that, I don't know, in that flow, in that place of being ready to go towards inspiration. I don't know, whatever we call it. I'm very thankful to feel that way because it's working for me anyways, to be channeling my concern into how I can help with my work in the world and my creating. And yeah, isn't that interesting how like creativity is healing? We hear that, right? And it is like even helping us through this to in the moment creatively respond to it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's good. This is your creativity, this format right here.
For sure. And just me following my desire, which I just have kind of trained myself to do. Like if I feel that excitement, I know like, okay, that's something that even like as a spiritual thing, right? That's something that my higher self would know. Like there's a reason I'm excited about it, right? So yeah. How is that? Do you have that kind of process with yourself with like feeling into projects where you just like know that's a yes? And even where you sense you're getting your inspiration and things?
Yeah, I do think there's a connection to source, and it's always not a success, but you got to keep going. There's a few rules, you know what I mean? The ideas of you keep going, and that didn't work. Okay, I'll fix it this way. Let me try this thing. That's the creative side, and so like your format is writing and this aspect of community and interviewing. So sometimes it works. Like you said, even this morning, hey, thanks for showing up. I know I've been trying to talk to you for a while. So sometimes I was like, I can't, but then in this energy for you to reach out, and then you already have some stuff formatted with other people too. So certain people are energizing the right way. And then some say, no, well, that's not going to work. Let me go this way. This works. That's perseverance. I think all the successful people in any type of anything will tell you they persevered to get there,
Yeah, right. But also just, getting clearer with what you're going to say no to, it sounds like, and what you're going to choose to align with. And yeah, I think that's why I've wanted to talk to you for years though, is because someone like you, I'm so interested in your creative process. And
that's actually very different right there. I think the idea you said about knowing what you need to say no to, it's important, man. So there is that idea of like being disciplined, and I'm working with those things. I think I know stuff. Like I'm really impressed with the energy. Like I built a garden in this crap because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to plant some seeds, and I went and got organic seeds and wood. I got tools and built some stuff because I always had those skill sets, but it's funny to do that. And then just heck of the whole deep cleaning thing that everybody said. I haven't let go of stuff. That's another chamber, but super deep cleaning, like it's funny, dude. And way more like healthy diet, right? Like we soup up our diet a little bit.
Yeah, right. Just eating home more even too. And yeah, it's interesting to think about how those things are so grounding. We know that, right? Like working with the earth and doing things like gardening or even cleaning, and that's obviously so helpful to us right now. And I bet, are you someone who, when you plant things, are you like setting intentions and turning it into this like spiritual practice and doing prayers around your plants and things like that?
Love it, man. Just like making food.
Yeah. Oh, you do that with, yeah, I bet. Yeah, that's would be so fun to like follow you. 'Cause you're
Uh,
just like this person doing all these like sacred practices within,
yeah.
seeming just like this rockin' presence in the entertainment scene too. So that's pretty rad.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. Definitely.
Gosh. Well, I mean, I so appreciate your being up for this, and I feel like I could give us a chance to call it to a close soon if we should feel it time. Is there anything more you'd want to say right now toward, I don't know, just in this idea of how we're responding to right now? I love some of the important things you brought up with even just honoring that we're all having our own response and just to be more aware of that and honoring that, right? I mean, that's one of the big pieces I got from you, from being here with you and remembering and how much we can use our creativity and have our choices to still think for ourselves, right? And make our own unique way through it, right? And be willing to do it our way.
Yeah, I think it's
Anything you
important.
want to add to that?
Um, Not specifically. I just have love for everybody out here at all levels of this. I've really been trying to alchemize the love. I've been trying to push
Mm-hmm.
love. And I just hope that those in power care and open their hearts for the rest of us. You know what I'm saying? And because there's a lot of different things that we're hearing and stuff. And I think it's just amazing that we come to this. So we have to be amazing to get through it. So I just say love for everybody is how I'd like to close it out. And then just, thank you so much, Lord Jane, for holding space and seeing my light. I appreciate you. I see your light.
Oh, yes. And I love how you say that it's amazing that we've come to this, but we have to be amazing to get through it. So thank you. And then if we could also put it in the copy for the YouTube and such, but what's a good way for people to reach out to you if they want to be following your stuff? Or what's your favorite way or ways?
Oh, yeah. Please check me out on Instagram, Zaire Black Music. That's Z like zebra, AIRE, Black the color, and music. IG.
Great. Yeah, I love those IG stories too. So
Yeah, man. I mean, that's really
and
the
fun,
art.
and it is expressive.
Yeah, it's super artful and super like our culture. And so like, thank you so much. Yeah, just trying to have people be happy, man, and feel good and stay connected. That's what's up.
Absolutely. Well, thank
All
you
right,
so
Norman.
much, Zaire. I appreciate it, and good to be here with you.
Yeah, blessings. Be well, okay?
Okay. All right. Namaste.